Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. I'm Kirsty and this is Stuck in the Mud. Thanks for watching my videos. Remember to like them, and if you haven't subscribed already, why not subscribe? It's free, and the more people that can subscribe, the more people will get these videos out to, and the more people with OCD and anxiety we can help and build a bigger community where we can support each other. So in today's video I'm talking about subtypes of OCD and what that all means, because I've suffered from OCD over a span of 40 years and I have experienced many different subtypes of OCD. You know, they include contamination OCD, hyper-responsibility OCD, harm OCD. I've gone through POCD. There's so many different ones. It'll pop up anywhere. There's sexual orientation OCD. There's some I haven't even experienced, and someone mentioned one the other day, which I'd like to look into more, which is peripheral vision OCD. And that is something I'm finding interesting because there's some that I haven't actually experienced, but I've definitely gone through many of them over my lifetime so far. And the thing with OCD is it will crop up when you least expect it. There's things that will happen with OCD, the subtypes, and there'll be over things that you value the most. OCD likes to hurt you, and it will try and target areas where you value the most. So for me, when I was going through a time of POCD after having children, my children are very important to me. I experienced that even before I had children because I'm a very sensitive, caring person, as I believe many people suffering from OCD are. And you pick up all of these things in the media and we really hyper focus in on them, and we want to be so sure and so certain that this is something that could never be possible, and we will ruminate over it and fixate and obsess over it until we feel like we can come to some conclusion. But unfortunately it never really comes with OCD. And the thing is, once you've gotten over one type of OCD, which, I've got over all of those types of OCD, it'll crop up somewhere else. And, it'll just rise out of nowhere and you'll think, wait, I was thinking when I was going through POCD, I was like, I wish I could have contamination OCD back because that didn't seem as bad, but they're all horrible and exhausting when you're suffering from them. It doesn't matter which type of OCD it is. And the thing is with OCD, we often feel like it's a contamination problem and we need to figure that out and come to some conclusion, and, we'll ruminate over it all day long trying to figure things out. But all we're doing is feeding OCD. It's not a contamination problem. It's not a POCD problem. It's not a harm problem. It's none of these things, because OCD lies and it just wants to trap you. It's the OCD trap. None of these things matter because it's all OCD. We're not going to find a conclusion. We're not going to come to an answer that we're happy with because it is all OCD. So we're trying to fix a problem that is OCD, and you can't fix an OCD problem. We can't come to some level of certainty that we're actually happy with, and we'll go round and round, that washing machine cycle of OCD, just trying to figure everything out, feeling so uncomfortable, feeling all the emotions, all the shame, the anger, the sadness, the frustration, the anxiety and panic, because we want to be sure that none of these things are true, or, that we would ever behave in such a way. We want to, we just want to know. And that doubt is what will keep you there, because OCD is the doubting disorder. It's the doubting disease. It will keep you trapped. And while we're trying to fix the problem, the obsession, we're not actually helping, because we're feeling like if I can come to some conclusion that that's not going to happen, or, that isn't something I'm capable of, or, I'm keeping my family safe by doing, XYZ, if I'm doing all of these things, that I'm keeping my family safe by performing a certain ritual or compulsion, that everything is fine. But the thing is, it isn't, because it's OCD. OCD just wants your attention. It wants your undivided attention. It wants you to keep questioning it. And the more we do that, the bigger it gets, the stronger it gets. The more we're telling our mind that this is important, we need to figure this out. So this is where leaving those thoughts alone comes in, because I bang on so much about this in my videos, you know, and I really want to stress how important that is, because that has been ultimately the thing that has made me recover, by the fact that I'm leaving these thoughts alone. OCD will throw it out there. It will say, you know, well, this might not be OCD, but we know it's OCD because we obsess over it so much. We ultimately know the answer to these things that OCD throws up. You know, deep down, we know the answer, but the more we involve ourselves in it, the more attention we give it, the bigger it gets and the more confused we feel. Because once I leave these thoughts alone, it's remarkable how much clarity I have over the situation. And the fact, you know, once I get over the whole POCD thing, you know, I'm thinking that was completely like random. I was so caught up in all that, and it's so irrational when I look back on it now. But that's because I have gained perspective, because I wasn't all muddled up and confused in the whole washing machine cycle of OCD. And, you know, it wasn't getting stronger. We're making it stronger the more we involve ourselves with it. So I just wanted to highlight in this video that by trying to fix the obsession and, you know, try and come to some conclusion over it, we're just making it worse. It's not a contamination problem. It's not a harm problem. It's not a sexual orientation problem. You know, these are things that we know about, you know, we know, but OCD likes to doubt, you know, it wants you to feel confused and conflicted, and wants you to analyze everything in your life to come to some kind of conclusion that you're happy with. And the thing is, with OCD, you never get there. And the more we can leave those things alone, the more clarity we will gain, because we're not making an obsession worse. When we refrain from getting involved, we let those thoughts be there. We're not pushing them away. We're not stopping them. We're letting them hang out there. And they will fade and fizzle away on their own. They just dissolve, because that's how the mind works. But the more we feed into OCD, the stronger and more powerful it gets, the more hold it has on us. And it's a scary place to be. I've been there many, many times. And it's only really in recent years I've been able to really put the work in and the therapy in place that I know does work. I know it works, and it's worked in other times of my life, but I feel like I've slipped back. And slipping back is okay. It happens to us all. It's happened to me before, and it will happen to anyone going through this, and that's fine. Having self-compassion and, you know, being kind to yourself is a big part of getting better from OCD, because we will slip back, and that's fine. That's okay. But we can get back on it again, and we can say, no, OCD, not today. I know you're trying to hook me in. I know you're trying to reel me back in and get me mulling over and trying to analyze and figure something out. But we're just feeding into OCD, and that's not the place you want to be, because it just means that OCD has so much more control over us and more confusion. It just adds more confusion to everything, where if we just let it be there, we will see how irrational a lot of these things are, you know, when we're getting ourselves so worked up over things that ultimately we know, you know, it's false. We know OCD lies. And because this is the thing, when we get ourselves so wrapped up in all the compulsions and rituals, we know it's irrational. We do. We ultimately know that. But the pull to do it is so hard, because we just want that assurance, and that even it's just a brief moment of reprieve from feeling so anxious, we just want it. We want that brief feeling of peace, just to kind of go, yeah, it's okay. I've done that ritual. Everything's fine. You know, or I've ruminated over that and I think I'm okay. You know, we never really, it comes back. It just bounces back. And that's how OCD works, because we're telling our brain that we don't trust ourselves. You know, our brain's thinking, you know, I need to figure this out. You know, we're telling our brain that, you know, that this is important. So just refraining from that and letting them be there is a big game changer. And I know many people that have commented. Thanks everyone for all your comments. It's great to hear that so many of you are doing well and that my videos are actually helping you guys. And even if it's just reminding you of the things that OCD likes to trick us with, and you know, just knowing that is a big help, because we're just being more vigilant on the fact, and it's not standing guard of your thoughts. I want to make that clear. It's not standing guard, because that in itself is a compulsion. We're just, when we notice an intrusive thought arise, it's just letting it be there. You know, when we notice the fact that something's pulling us to engage in a ritual, in a compulsion, we just go, no, not today. I'm not doing that today. I know it's your OCD, and I know you're trying to trick me, you know, and then we can move forward with our day. It's just having the courage, and it is taking a leap of faith, because I know it isn't easy. I know that doing those things is a challenge, and it is taking that kind of leap to go of doubt, and you know, we're kind of out on, it feels like you're out on a limb, doesn't it? Because we're going, I'm not going to do that today, and it feels so uncomfortable, and you're going to feel a little anxiety, and you may feel a rise in all that, all the uncomfortable sensations. That's intrusive as well. That's just OCD. And leaving those feelings there as well. So it doesn't go just for thoughts, it's feelings, you know, sensations in the body, just leaving those alone and just moving forward with your day. It's just those little steps. You've got to think of it as little steps. And every little step forward, you'll come on leaps and bounds in your recovery. And just to remember these things, because if I can do it, you can do it. I know you can. I've been in some really bad places with OCD. I wouldn't wish it on anyone. So I just want you to know that you can get better. So I hope this video has helped you today, and I will see you next time.